lot of minutes and have scored a ton of points as well.
Yeah, you see the balanced scoring here, and give them credit. Every game they have been competitive. Every game they have played with grit, and I'm sure it won't be any different tonight.
No question. 88% of the scoring for Syracuse comes from their starters. All starters honored outside of Teisha Hyman earlier today for Syracuse. So congratulations not only to those seniors, but everybody playing in the ACC today for what has been an incredible season. Boston College starting five. A team that, like we said, NCAA tournament hopefuls, also a very senior-led team. Taylor Soule with the ball there, looking underneath to Gakding, and Boston College starts it off with a turnover. Starting five for Syracuse, like we mentioned, also a very senior-led team. Outside of the redshirt sophomore Teisha Hyman, all seniors are graduate players. So we'll trade turnovers here in the first couple seconds of the game.
And you see the strategy for both teams. For Boston College, they want to get the ball inside, play inside out, and Syracuse, they want to spread out that defense.
Boston College coming off a huge win over Duke on Thursday. It was the first time in program history that the Eagles had won at Duke. And there's Maria Gakding getting it going. We just saw a couple seconds ago, she had 21 the last time these two met.
And that's going to be a common theme for Boston College. The last time they scored 50 points in the paint to 39 for Syracuse.
Teisha Hyman's first shot of the afternoon is off the mark. Hyman leads this team with 16 points a game. Soule from the free throw line. The back iron there. Turnover quickly ahead and a stuttering of the feet for Gakding. So Najee Murray coming up, appearing injured there. We'll check out. So already Coach Von Reed has to go to the bench and bring in Elena Rice, the junior guard from Rockledge, Florida. Crystalline Carr floating one to the corner to Hyman. Hyman gets to the free throw line, elevates, able to find Chrissy Carr. Christiana Carr, free throw line extended, no good. Allie Van Timmeren with the board. Boston College looking to push.
Boston College will run whenever they can, but obviously there's going to be a mismatch. So we see how many players you have around Gakding. As you see Swartz there with the three-pointer. She has been on a tear, 20 points plus for the last 5 games, and been real quiet 20 points.
Yeah.
I mean, she'll have a spurt whenever they need her, but you don't really realize it until the end of the game.
She has the capability to take over a game, as does Alasia Stiles on the other end. Graduate from San Diego, California, averaging 10 a game. Cam Swartz, by the way, now just 2 points away from 1,000 in her career.
You see Syracuse with the 2-2-1. Sort of a subtle way that you can still add some pressure, but not tire out your bench, but you got to get the shooters.
That's Allie Van Timmeren knocking down the three. She did not score in the game on Thursday. A bit of a difficult time finding her shot against the Blue Devils. Here's a three for Elena Rice. That's off the mark. Cam Swartz with a board. Boston College already 3 for 4 and a perfect 2 for 2 from beyond the arc.
They are one of the better three-point shooting teams, and it obviously helps Gakding when her teammates are able to shoot threes because they can't double.
Marnell Gerard gets in on the action. 3 for 3 from long range. 3 different players for Boston College. They shoot 33%. That's good for 4th in the conference in three-point field goal percentage. And they're out to an 11-2 lead, a 6-0 run. Chrissy Carr can't end it. Elena Rice with the offensive board. She goes to the hole, puts it up and in with a right hand.
It'll be interesting to see how they rotate these 6 players for Syracuse. Who gets rest, when they get rest. They have to be very strategic about it.
A wide open Taylor Soule from the elbow. That's a lot of room for the second leading scorer for Boston College.
She's pretty much money from mid-range, especially from the elbow. This is a great matchup, a great defender against a great offensive player.
Taken away, Gactain got a hand in there. Girard up the floor now. 13-4, Boston College in the first 4+ minutes of this game. Swartz faked the shot, kicks back to Soule. That shot's no good. Tipped around, and finally Hyman brings it in. Hyman, good pass, good idea. Couldn't finish on that end. Back up the other way, Soule finagles in midair. And an early timeout for head coach Von Reed. He's seen enough. 15-4 lead. Boston College out to an incredibly hot start. 6 for 8 from the field, 3 for 3 from long range.
There are all kinds of products in this world. Things that make life.
Just moving the ball around if you're Syracuse. KYP, know your personnel. You do not want to leave the ball for Swartz. And then again, just rotating Van Timmeren. Kind of plays that stretch 4 for Syracuse. And then Girard decides she wants to get into the picture as well. So great for them because that opens up the middle for Gactain.
So Cam Swartz now just 2 points away from reaching 1,000 for her career. Already made that three-pointer, came into the game 5 points shy of that mark. Boston College, 6 for 8 from the floor. Kristlyn Carr working on Swartz. Carr with the floater off the backboard, no good. On the other end, it's been a 2 for 7 start from the field for Syracuse. Here's Marnell Girard for 3, perfect, 4 for 4 from long range here in the first quarter are the Eagles. Been relatively uncontested threes at that, Helen.
Yeah, and that goes to show just the communication there, and I think trying to decide what defense you're in, whether it's 2-3 or player to player.
Hyman with the carry there, and the turnovers racking up. That's now 5.
You got to watch Taylor Soule here. Look how she switches. She sees, right now she's supposed to be on Hyman, but she sees a problem, and you didn't see it here, but just rotated all the way across the lane to guard somebody she wasn't even supposed to cover for one of her teammates.
Michaela Dickens trying to get in. Wow. My goodness, Ellen Williams. 5 for 5 now from 3.
Well, they shot well against Duke, so they've been in sort of a rhythm here these last couple of games. And again, you got to know your personnel. That's your shooter, Dickens. You can't go behind the screen on the ball. Dickens played a great game against Duke. I asked Coach about her. She's sort of sneaky athletic with the ball. Got a quick trigger, and just Coach is really impressed with her, just her basketball IQ, but she's very, very crafty, and you have to pay attention to her when she has the ball.
So Asia Stiles will go to the line to shoot too. Hey, we have another really good women's basketball game coming up for you later today. Lisa Kinane, number 3 NC State. They are in Blacksburg to take on number 23 Virginia Tech. The Wolfpack lead the ACC at 16-1 this year. Hokies are 3rd at 12-4. That's going to be a great test for both. We always get our emails from Charlie Cream, and he says that Virginia Tech can actually work their way into a top 16 team if they can, in fact, take down NC State. It'll be at 6 o'clock. Takeaway there for Hyman. She gets fouled on that end. Quick hands from the redshirt sophomore.
Yeah, and that's what Coach Reed said, try to turn them over a little bit and make it easier to get some transition baskets so you don't have to execute so much in that half court and worry about when you take the ball inside against Gactain.
Teisha Hyman sat out all last year with a knee injury, has come back, and it was presumed that she would have a big impact on this team this year. And, I mean, she has lived up to the hype. Incredible season, 16 points a game. She only averaged 6.3 points in her freshman year.
Well, and for her, it was just a matter of opportunity. It wasn't in terms of skill set. Obviously, she's a very skilled player. You see here, Syracuse trying to figure out what zone they're in.
Immediate double team on Gactain, able to get it out on the perimeter now. Cam Swartz looking for 1,000, in and out. Taylor Soule, the offensive rebound and the putback. Quickly up ahead, Styles, nice hands. Couldn't finish the first time, has it blocked by Gakdeng. Hyman gets it back, fading away off the backboard. And out of play will be Boston College ball. Great hands by Styles there, but had it stuffed the second time.
Yeah, well, just again, the grit and the competitiveness that you see Syracuse playing with, even though they're outmanned in terms of number of players, they continue to compete.
So Gakdeng will catch a breather as Kayla Ivey, the sophomore from Maryland, will check into the game. More full court pressure. Boston College able to break it fairly easily. Swartz trying baseline. She's forced to travel. As Percy Carr was playing some good defense. Syracuse has not scored in the last 3.5+ minutes. Malaysia Styles with 4 of the team's 8 points. Carr fading away for 3, count it.
Well, she can heat up in a minute for Syracuse.
Struggled in the loss to Wake on Thursday, went 2 for 9 from the floor, but Coach Vaughn Reed says that she is one of, if not the fastest player that he has ever coached.
Especially with the ball.
Eight to shoot, Michaela Dickens. She travels, back-to-back travels, and turnovers on this end for the Eagles.
Well, the Eagles trying to figure out what defense Syracuse is in. It looks like player to player, it looks like zone, and somebody goes through with the cutter, you think it's player to player, but not necessarily, it's matchup zone.
4th season at the helm for head coach Joanna Burnaby-McNamee, and what a job she has done, brought this program to new heights. Boston College has already quadrupled the amount of wins from last season. They only had 2 conference wins last year.
I have a lot of respect for Coach McNamee. She did a great job at Albany, and everywhere she has been as a head coach, by that second year, you've seen marked improvement in the program.
Gerard able to get by Carr.
Too much dribbling here.
And finally a late whistle there, and we are going to have over and back.
Yeah, again, it's just a 3-2 matchup, but Boston College is having problems executing against it. Way too much dribbling here. We need to get some motion here somewhere. I think she's trying to come off some screens, but the aggression of Carr. Good defense by Syracuse.
3 turnovers the last 3 trips for Boston College. What can Syracuse do with it? Christiana Carr into Styles, up to the left, no good, follows it up. That's no good, tips it back to herself momentarily, but Swartz takes it away and gets fouled on her way to the other end.
I think Styles has just done a great job for Syracuse this year, really playing out of position. She's not a 5, but just out of necessity in terms of height. She has hustled the entire season. As you can see there, not a whole lot of girth, so she's been in there banging, and she's hung in there.
A lot of these Syracuse players, I think, are playing positions that maybe they wouldn't normally play. Styles, of course, Exhibit A, playing that center spot. Very short bench. Syracuse and Vaughn Reed only have about 6 players. Nice pass to Soule. Couldn't finish at the rim, but Gakdeng, nice find back to Soule.
And that is something they worked on in practice yesterday, so I'm sure Coach McNamee is happy, just screening that zone and isolating the players after the screen.
Skip pass, Carr for 3. She's got 2 in the game. (25-14), under a minute to go. Cam Swartz, welcome to 1,000, Cam Swartz.
Yeah, you see Murray there, should have gotten out, but no one told her about the screen. She's asking her teammate to communicate with her.
Carr on the drive, partially blocked there by Taylor Soule. Back the other way, 3-on-3. Rod pulls it back. Dickens blows by Najee Murray. Might have had an open lane, didn't take it. And it's back the other way for the Orange. Transition three, Najee Murray, that's off to the left. Rhea Gakdang with the board. 4 to shoot, Gerard now. Gets the shot off and it falls short. It was Boston College putting up 28 points in the first quarter, and Cam Swartz, 6 points. She has now reached 1,000 for her career. It is 28-14 after the first break, second quarter, and more action coming up from the Dome on the other side of the break.
There's a moment. The moment we ask, what if?
What if we could go further, jump higher, or run the whole thing?
And her mom, you see there, sure letting all of her family know that Malaysia's playing a great game so far in this one.
And they're probably texting her, hey, you're letting her know she's on TV.
4 points in the first quarter, a couple of rebounds, a couple of offensive rebounds in there for Styles. Fortunately for Syracuse, Boston College shot 70% in the first quarter, and they made 6 threes in the first quarter. So they got to find a way to slow down BC from beyond the arc.
BC doing a great job of sharing the basketball. 8 assists on those 11 baskets.
Styles fighting for position underneath, gets whistled for the foul on Gakdang. So Malaysia Styles will check out now with 2 personal fouls, and the second one early on here in the second quarter. So where Syracuse really struggled with size, that's a big loss.
Well, now you see Carr having to guard Gakdang as well.
Gakdang's got 4 now. Orange did a good job of limiting her to 2 points in the first quarter. The only problem was everyone else was scoring around her.
Yeah, it's sort of pick your poison with BC when they're shooting that well. You know, if you go out and decide to play them again, you're going to isolate. See Hyman here taking the shot. You're going to isolate Gakdang in the middle. Oh, great pass.
Soule couldn't finish on the other end. A couple of layups that Soule has been unable to convert. Chrissy Carr for 3, in and out. That was halfway down. Syracuse now 2 for 7 from long range today. Cam Swartz will fire. That falls short. Soule's there for the offensive board. You got to figure that's one thing Syracuse cannot allow, is just second chance opportunities for a team that already has a size advantage in the paint. Soule muscles her way through.
Yeah, you have size advantage in the paint, but you also have size advantage when that long rebound comes out. You know, the guards for BC are bigger than the guards for Syracuse. A lot of dribbling here, under 10 seconds now. And then you live and die with the shot when you dribble that much and you don't have any set offense.
Syracuse 32% on the year for 3, as Michaela Dickens rattles one home. That's now 7 for 10.
She did that against Duke, just came in firing and hitting threes.
Nice drive by Najee Murray. It's her first points of the afternoon. Graduate guard from Stockton, California. Saw her family here earlier as well.
Looks like Soule got away with a double dribble there.
Trying to go over the top, Gakdang able to corral it and finish.
Yeah, just easy. You see here, Gakdang able to operate around the rim with both hands, left or right.
Drive by Carr, got bumped, no whistle there. Michaela Dickens back the other way. Hands it off to Swartz, who will take the 3. Nylon for Cam Swartz, who's got 9 in the game. She has made 3 threes. Boston College already with 40 points in the game. It has been uphill sledding for Syracuse as they trail 40-16.
You've spent years dreaming up your business plan, saving every dollar, searching for the right location.
The last meeting between these two, January 6th, Boston College and Syracuse. It was a high-scoring game. It appears it's going to be another high-scoring game this time, at least for Boston College, who's already put up 40 points. But what sticks out to us is you see those 11 for 22 from beyond the arc for Boston College there. They've already made 8 threes in this game.
Yeah, and I said at the beginning of the broadcast 8 to 10 threes, but I meant Syracuse and not Boston College. You see, Gakdang there has been doing a great job as well, and just a lack of communication sometimes on all those threes. But you see here, 6 points, 3 for 3, 3 rebounds, and a couple of blocks as well. We showed her, average at the beginning of the broadcast, but that doesn't really reflect the scoring average these last few games that she's had. She's been in double figures, and another great pass to Taylor Soule.
Boston College also 13 fast break points in this game. Soule's already in double figures as that 3 from Carr hits off the back of the rim. Girard back the other way. Dickens, top of the 3 key, is a bit long, follows it up and gets fouled by Chrissy Carr.
Well, Dickens is such a crafty player, has such a quick trigger. You got to get on there, it's going up. And then again, just sneaky athletic with the basketball.
Excuse me, that foul was on Najee Murray, not Carr. That is the first foul on Murray this afternoon.
You see Coach Reed has brought Styles back in the game with 2 fouls. They can't afford to keep her out long, so she's got to be careful not to get that 3rd foul for the half.
9-0 run for Boston College. A step through for Carr, could not finish at the rim. Syracuse 5 for 22 from the floor this afternoon, Helen. As Van Timmeren steps inside the arc, misses the shot, goes out of bounds, will stay here for Boston College. We are really excited about this. Tomorrow, the tournament, a history of ACC men's basketball, continues on the ACC network with episode 7 that highlights years 1984 to 89. That'll be at 9 Eastern, followed by episode 8 that breaks down 1990 through 97. New episodes of the 10-part documentary are available every Monday at 9 and 10 Eastern through March 7th. You can always watch past episodes on the ESPN app. Foul going against Boston College and Allie Van Timmeren.
I've not seen the ball in Hyman's hand in quite some time. They need to get her the basketball.
Hyman from 18, that's short. But you're right, Helen, on this side, it's a lot of dribbling and a bit stagnant as Girard transition 3.
Unbelievable.
Cashes it in, 9 threes on the afternoon for Boston College. Girard has 3 now.
They are in a great offensive rhythm these last 3 games that they played that have been, according to most people, necessary for them to win to get into the tournament.
Out of bounds will stay with Syracuse. You know what's funny? There's always a lot of conversation around visiting teams coming into the Dome and having trouble shooting. Apparently Boston College hasn't had any trouble today.
Well, they they came straight from Duke. They didn't go home, and because they needed a practice in the Carrier Dome, so they did get that one practice, and obviously didn't take the shoot around with a 12 o'clock game. But yeah, they're in a definite rhythm.
Najee Murray, her shot is no good. Dickens lost the rebound here. Styles on the other end. Dickens taps it out, but Hyman able to control. Fresh 20 on the shot clock for Teisha Hyman. Looking for Styles underneath. Hyman, spin move in the paint. That's no good. Syracuse can't really buy a basket right now.
Yeah, but I do think Hyman needs the ball in her hands more. Maybe set some screens on the ball for her and just let her go one-on-one with her defender. She's really good at creating her own opportunities off the bounce.
Jalen Batts, the 6-foot junior guard from Virginia, checks into the game. Did not play against Duke. We'll give Taylor Soule a rest. Murray drives, kicks, Chrissy Carr. Styles fighting for the rebound, last touch by Boston College. Over their last 8, Ellen.
2 for 10 for the game so far.
Good inbounds pass to Styles, fighting for position. Van Timmeren is there. And Gerard tripped up. It's going to go against Teisha Hyman.
And that's a perfect example. Styles just playing out of position. Just doesn't have the strength to bang in there and still be able to take the contact and score.
12-0 run for Boston College. They have just not let up. Into Van Timmeren, working on Styles. That's going the other way.
She put that forearm out there. Like you said, she's going to wake up tomorrow with some bruises as well. Van Timmeren just plowing into her.
Van Timmeren heads to the bench. And Gakdang checks back in.
Well, if you're Boston College, it's great that you're hitting all these threes, but I'd be concerned about all the offensive rebounds that they've allowed Syracuse to have. They've got 9 offensive rebounds, and against a better team, that's going to be detrimental.
Teisha Hyman ends the Eagles' 12-0 run. She's got 4 points. Now Gerard quickly back the other way. That shot is off. Out of bounds, and it will stay with Boston College here. You're right, Boston College can just hurt you on so many different levels, whether it be with Gakdang and Van Timmeren on the inside or on beyond the perimeter. As no fouls going against Boston College and Jalen Batts. Again, worth noting, Boston College, by the way, was picked to finish 11th in the preseason polls this year.
Well, Coach McAmey and her staff have just done a great job. Individual development. Coach Hilton's been the one that's been very instrumental in the development of Gakdang and the post players, and Coach Porcher really doing a great job with these point guards. I thought yesterday he did a great job just teaching, talking poise and patience to his point guards over and over and over again.
That's the 10th turnover for Boston College. They haven't exactly kept great care of the basketball in this game, despite the large lead they have.
Well, they had 19 turnovers against Duke, and Duke had a nice little run in the third quarter, and what saved them was just the big margin like you see here, where it's not necessarily going to translate into a lot of offense, but again, against a better team, this is something that they want to clean up if they expect to do well in the tournament.
Hyman tucks the ball, puts up a shot, gets her own rebound. There's another offensive board. So Syracuse hasn't really taken full advantage of those second chance opportunities yet today.
Nice little isolation there for Gakdang. I mean, there's nothing that Styles can do.
Gakdang now in double figures. So you got Maria Gakdang with 10, Taylor Soule, who's on the bench, leading the team with 12 points. Malaysia Styles will try from 3, and she cashes one in. Malaysia Styles, it's just her 9th 3 of the year.
She can shoot from the perimeter. She just doesn't do it, I think, as much as she should. It would really help them to get her going in the perimeter, because then you can bring out that post player.
Kayla Ivey wide open for 3. That's no good, going the other way. Taylor Soule will check back in. .30-point lead for Boston College, under a minute and a half left to go. Carr, finally, Chrissy Carr able to connect on a 3. She was 0 for 4 prior to that make. So a couple of made threes for Syracuse. See if they can finish this second quarter strong. Taylor Soule up and in.
Yeah, they do that a lot with her, isolating her. She can be an undersized post and a mismatch for other teams when they isolate her.
Murray crosses over, puts up a floater. That's knocked out only to Carr, and then Gerard bats it back the other way. Cam Swartz, wide open lane.
Just a great screen there by Taylor Soule, posting up Carr, allowing Swartz a free lane to the basket.
About a second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. And offensive foul. Kristen Carr a bit out of control there, and she might have gotten teed up.
Yeah, Soule just doing a great job of getting in position. And the frustration understandable for Carr.
Kind of that ball toss there, which led to the technical foul, and Cam Swartz will take the free throws.
Ball toss and a few choice words.
Personal foul and a technical foul.
And look, I think that frustration from Kristen Carr is understandable. It's been a tough year for these Syracuse players, trying to mesh. We got 7 transfers coming in. It's kind of been uphill sledding all year for head coach Vaughn Reed. But you know, look, the season doesn't end today. You still get a chance in Greensboro coming up on Wednesday.
Well, like I said, I don't remember looking at any film or game this year from Syracuse where they have not, you know, competed and played with a lot of grit. So you give the coaching staff a lot of credit for that, because you know, these players could quite easily have checked out, and they haven't all season, so give them credit.
4 seconds to play with for Boston College here after the technical foul on Kristen Carr. Taylor Soule thought about it. How about the clock awareness? Clock awareness from Taylor Soule to find Gakdang. It's just been that kind of half for Syracuse as they trail 58-24. Boston College shot 60%, 9 threes in the first half. Meantime, we'll send it over to our friends Drew Carter and Muffet McGraw in the studio. 24 points in the first half, led by Alasia Stiles with 7, but the Orange 21.6% from the floor through the first 2 quarters.
Yeah, if you're Syracuse, you've got to get Hyman involved here in the second half and get her more shots.
Ball into Taylor Soule, who's leading the team with 14 points so far today.
There's a mismatch there with Gakdang, Hyman.
Van Timmeren, tough shot, tough make. Allie Van Timmeren poised to be a big part of this team after a lot of these seniors leave. Actually joined the team last year as an early graduate from high school, so she got that experience. Ball in the hands of Teisha Hyman. Just touched there by Gakdang. Murray, skip pass. Over to Carr for 3. That's well short. Murray able to follow it up. A reverse layup for Najee Murray. She's got 4 now in the game. BC did turn the ball over 10 times in the first half. The problem is Syracuse only got 7 points off those turnovers, as Cam Swartz now with 14 points in the game.
Yeah, they go through spurts, BC, where they throw the ball to the wrong jersey, and you know, again, they've had such a cushion. It hasn't been that big of a deal, but it is something that coach wants them to shore up.
Teisha Hyman off the bounce. Gakdang brings in her 5th rebound of the game. Boston College averages 19 turnovers a game. That's good for 3rd worst in the conference, and I got to imagine that good teams are going to take advantage of that, and you see another one there. Hyman steps into a 3. back out to Carr. She'll try again. You got to imagine, Coach Von Reed said, seniors, you're playing in some of your last games. Shoot the ball. Don't think about it.
Yeah, well, they've been doing that all year. Just because they're not shooting well does not mean they're going to stop shooting threes.
Chrissy Carr now with 6. Van Timmeren into T. Soule, back out to Swartz. Swartz dumps down to Gacktang. 2 turnovers in a row for Boston College. They've now got 12.
Again, BC trying to figure out, is it zone, is it player to player? You see players going through with the cutters, but other players playing, in a zone set. So they're struggling with that here at the beginning of the second half.
Elena Rice checking back into the game. Again, Alicia Stiles does have those 2 fouls, so something to keep an eye on here.
Syracuse have 1 sub, and that's it.
Nice backdoor cut. Murray just couldn't finish on the shot. Michaela Dickens, short corner. That's good for 2. Boston College now 4 players in double figures. Elena Rice, the junior guard, fighting her way into the paint. Rolls out. Quickly up the floor to Dickens. And again, it just kind of seems like at times Boston College can push it a bit too far ahead.
And it's that third quarter for them. I think sometimes they get ahead of themselves in transition, not reading the defense correctly.
First foul on Maria Gacktang. And I'm sure you as a coach also had this philosophy where you do want your team to push the ball, right? You want to get up in transition, but there's a balance between pushing the ball and being a bit reckless.
Yeah, there are such things as a good turnover, not a whole lot of them, but when you see them trying to do the right thing in transition, but they've been not reading the defense here and struggled.
Najee Murray, another reverse layup. Now with 4 points in the third quarter alone. Cam Swartz cashes that in. Just so smooth for Cam Swartz, who's now got 16. Swartz on the season averages 16. But in ACC play, Cam Swartz has really bumped up her game.
Yeah,
on the other end.
See Carr there with another side dribble. I think for Swartz, people just think of her just as a shooter, but she's been effective and grown in the area where she's able to score off the dribble as well.
Gacktang ran into some traffic there. Now, Cam Swartz is averaging 19 points a game in ACC play. She's shooting just under 40% from deep. Hyman with the fake there. Ooh, a little up and under for Teisha Hyman. She can do that.
Yeah, Syracuse doing a good job on the offensive end here, starting this third quarter.
Dickens dumps it off to Gacktang, falling away there. It looked like she had the initial shot.
Yeah, no need for her to fall away. Just go straight up. No one's going to block that.
Syracuse outscoring Boston College 11-8 here in the third quarter. Carr, quick 3. That's no good. You also have to figure in Syracuse's bench here as the game gets more deep into it. Not a whole lot of options for Von Reed off the bench. Told us before the game we really have to.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. That is a great backdoor
I just reacted
pass.
as a coach there.
Coach Von Reed did tell us before that his team has had to kind of pick and choose when they want to push and when they want to press.
Yeah, and you have to try to figure out how to judiciously use your timeouts to rest individual players and your team.
Foul going against Jalen Batts. Syracuse trailing Boston College 68-35 in the final regular season game of the season. With wife Mickey. Duke taking on Syracuse inside the Dome yesterday. There was 31,800 fans in attendance. Really exciting to watch Coach K and Coach Boeheim and see the scholarship award there in the name of Coach Krzyzewski, and Duke finishing up their season. The last ride for Coach K. They got Pitt on Tuesday, and they finish up at home with who else? North Carolina.
You see Boston College here trying to get some significant time for some of their players that don't play a lot. May need them in the tournament.
68-35, Boston College out ahead. They put up 58 points in the first half. Dontavia Wagner into the game, and her shot is off the mark. Wagner was one of those transfers from NC State last year. Najee Murray went down after her shot.
That doesn't look good. I hope she's okay.
Quiet Dome here as Najee Murray still on the ground. We'll step aside for a short break here and hope that Murray is okay. It is 68-35. Boston College out ahead with 3:49 left to go in the third quarter.
Fencing is a big...
We're not going to show that replay. It did not look pretty. But apparently rolling an ankle, her right ankle, after coming down after attempting a three-point shot. So scoring distribution this year, heavily reliant on their starters. 88%, their bench is short as it is. And Najee Murray certainly a big part of this team all season long. Transfer from Texas Tech.
And not just on the offensive end, one of their better defenders as well.
Six to shoot, Clara Ford into the game. JoJo Lacey entering the game as well. She gets a shot. Emphatic bench cheering her on.
That's a player that Coach McNamee's really excited about. She's coming back from injury, but thinks she can give them some good minutes.
Style shot off the mark. Kayla Ivey brings it up the other way. Also see number 3, Nia Wilson into the game for Syracuse. Backdoor cut. Clara Ford right there on the block. 72 points now for Boston College. Bristling Carr to blow by. She can really turn the Jets on, huh?
Yeah, she has a lot of speed with the ball. Can get by defenders, and as we saw early in the first half, very, very competitive.
Offensive foul. Andrea Daly pushed off there.
Yeah, you got to do something as soon as you catch the ball. She held it too long. The ball's been sticking a little bit with this second group here on offense for BC.
You see Boston College, 15 turnovers. Syracuse has turned it over 12 times.
And then more importantly, you see the points off turnovers, 14 for Syracuse.
Back-to-back points for Syracuse on this end, gets them to 41. And
I think for BC, you obviously end up winning this game. There's a lot that Coach McNamee can point to that they're going to need to do better. And that's actually a good thing when you have such a big disparity in points. And players tend to think we did everything right, but there'll be something else for them to show. Yeah, Hyman just a great creator for herself off the dribble. I think next year when she, gets some more help, she's going to be even better than she was, more effective than she was this year.
Chrissy Carr. 6 points on this end for Syracuse now, the last minute and a half.
And you can see Syracuse just taking advantage of taking their players off the dribble.
Kayla Ivey back the other way. Got to move the feet there. And a foul is called. Daly will go to the line to shoot two.
Syracuse foul number 43, Chrissy Carr.
Goes against Chrissy Carr, that's her first. You talk about kind of the improvement for Boston College. Look, we've seen a lot of it since Coach Burnby McNamee arrived on campus, but what concerns you about Boston College?
Well, what concerns me is the turnovers. They like you said, you average 19 turnovers a game. That's potential offense for for your opponent, and it's okay when you're shooting as well as they've been shooting today, but if you get in a game and you're not shooting as well from three-point range, it's going to be a big concern. And it's nothing that is earth-shattering. It's just better focus and take care of the basketball.
Hyman, nice find to Styles underneath. It's been a good third quarter for the Orange.
They've taken advantage of driving against getting past their players and also scoring in transition off turnovers for BC.
Syracuse 4 of the last 5 from the field. Still large deficit as Boston College has shot over 62% from the field. They have not made a 3 in this half though. That'll do it for the third quarter. 73 points for Boston College. However, Syracuse outscored BC 21-15 in the third quarter. Alacia Styles leading the way, 9 points, 3 for 12 as a senior, getting it done on senior day.
There's a moment. The moment we ask, what if?
What if we could go further, jump higher, or run the whole thing? What if we could be who we're meant to be?
It's been fun to watch. You never really know what she's gonna go with on any given day.
Well, express yourself, young lady. And what a great smile.
Yeah. An infectious laugh for this team, and she's always smiling. It's just been such a great piece, and Coach Von Reed said she's such an excellent kid. And we saw the video earlier in this game of her family coming in, surprising her on senior day, flying in from Las Vegas. So it's got to be an emotional day, and not only for Styles, but all of these seniors here. And Styles has played a big part this year in a position that she does not normally play.
No, it's still on her way to a double-double today. And has never complained. Has just come to practice every day and done what's asked of her.
So the Orange outscored Boston College by 6 points in the third quarter. See if they can continue and finish this game strong. Here's Carr for 3, count it. Kristlyn Carr now with 13 points in the afternoon.
And that's the Syracuse that you're used to seeing, hitting those threes and driving to the basket on offense.
Carr, perfect 3 for 3 from long range today.
You see Coach McNamee trying to get Van Timmeren some traditional post opportunities. I mean, she's normally in there with Gakdang, kind of a stretch 4.
You kind of think this is good experience for some of those players that might not play every day for Boston College to get in live game action before the tournament.
Well, and if you're planning on going far, you're going to need players because you've got to play back to back to back to back.
On the drive, Wilson, her first points of the game. All right, Wilson. Boston College has kind of been living on the bubble the last couple of weeks. They've been playing like an NCAA tournament team here today, but our friend Charlie Cream and ESPN Bracketology have Boston College along with Miami as the last 4 in. Duke, who has been a ranked team pretty much the entire year, has fallen the last couple of weeks, and they have fallen so far to the first 4 out.
Well, you and I talked about this last week, just in terms of Boston College, that unfortunately for them, it's all about perception. So having to win these 3 games, and they're able to obviously win this one, win it big, is really important. But still feeling like you have to win at least 1 game in the tournament to solidify that, even though, as Muffin McGraw said, they are, I feel, a tournament team as well.
If they can take any solace, Boston College 9-8 in the ACC. Now, since 2017, teams with 10 league wins have not missed the tournament. Now, having said that, there are a lot of ACC teams sitting at 9-8 right now, 3 in fact. And the ACC looking to get a record number of teams into the NCAA tournament. You could figure as many as 10, but right now, currently got 8 teams in there. Bounce pass underneath Styles. Couldn't finish. Styles just 1 rebound away from a double-double this afternoon. Hyman picks the pocket of Kayla Ivey. Jump stop in the paint and finishes.
I see, this is what I mean by Syracuse. Like, they don't quit, they play hard, and they compete no matter what the score is. I can give them a lot of credit for that.
And it forces Joanna Burnaby-McNamee to go back to her starters here. Waiting to check in. Clara Ford got fouled on the block.
Hyman just nice little jump hop and shooting over the defender. Just a great one-on-one player.
Clara Ford will shoot a couple.
Coach McNamee putting a little bit more stable presence in there, coming back with Dickens and Gerard and Swartz.
A reminder to fans to download the ACC 3-Point Challenge app presented by New York Life to help benefit the local boys and girls clubs. Score points for your local school, and after the tournament, the local boys and girls club will receive a donation from the New York Life based on their affiliated ACC team's final ranking. Syracuse at one point was losing by more than 30. They've brought it to 20. Second foul on Cam Swartz.
Coach McNamee trying to give some time to players, but you know, when you put that many in at once, sometimes can backfire.
Chrissy Carr rattles that one home. Transfer from Kansas State. Played 3 seasons at K-State. Was a Big 12 honorable mention player last year.
Nice cut.
Wagner finishes on that end. She averages just about 2.5 a game. One of those players off the bench. Kristlyn Carr, jump ball as Gerard got her hands in there.
Gerard, one of the best defenders in the league, takes a lot of pride in her one-on-one defense.
Talk a little more about this Syracuse team and kind of what the foundation is. You know, we talked to Von Reed before this game as Hyman gets the steal and the bucket there. You kind of build around a Teisha Hyman who you know, you hope comes back next year for this team. And they've dealt with some injuries. Ebony Walker was a really talented freshman that went out with an injury. Back-to-back steals now for Hyman. She gets fouled, couldn't finish. But you know, there is kind of a solid core here that you can build around, and Teisha Hyman certainly kind of at the front there.
Well, obviously one of the issues that you're going to need to address is the inside for them. That's they lost, I can't remember the kid's name now. She's at Cardosa. That was a big loss for her, for them. They're definitely going to, that's going to be one of the major things. You can, the guards are, they're okay there, but certainly the inside presence, especially when you're in a league like, you know, ACC, you've got Cunane and
Yep.
Gacdane and Kitley at Virginia Tech. I mean, just I mean, it's ongoing, so you've got to have a strong inside presence if you're going to be successful in the ACC.
We saw flashes of Ebony Walker, and you know, just a freshman this year, but certainly some talent there. Priscilla Williams as well, injured in the ACC tournament last year, opted to take a redshirt year this year. Some full court pressure here from Syracuse, and they're, to your point, not giving up here on this senior day. Despite the score, Syracuse has brought it to a 16-point deficit now.
Well, and it's, you know, the turnovers. There's 20 turnovers.
All right, so that forces Boston College to call a timeout here. And the fight from Syracuse, not giving up here. 5:33 left to go in the fourth.
There's a moment. The moment we ask, what if?
What if we could go further, jump higher?
This half had to go to the training room, and it is a great sight to see her come back, albeit on crutches. Gives the thumbs up. It looked painful. We didn't show that replay, but look, she's been a leader for this team all year long. Just, you know, one of those players that all about culture.
Yeah, when I asked Coach at the very beginning in the Bahamas, when I saw her in the first game, that was the one thing that he kept harping on, was that she was such an excellent leader. Unfortunately, now she's going to have to lead from the bench for the rest of this game.
And you hope that she can get back for the ACC tournament next week. Huge part to this team. The fight for Syracuse in this fourth quarter alone, they have outscored BC 17-5. They once trailed by 36 in this game. They trailed by 16.
Well, and you look at the turnovers, 21 turnovers for BC. Points off turnovers, 24 points off turnovers for Syracuse. And again, go back to the offensive rebounds. Syracuse has 15 offensive rebounds. So these are areas, again, that you don't have that huge cushion. We're not going to bode well for you against another team.
Carr with the handle, step back for three, yes! Chrislyn Carr.
There's still plenty of time, you never know.
Perfect, 4 for 4 from beyond the arc. Chrislyn Carr leading the way with 18. There's still a lot of time here as Carr pokes in there and whistled for the foul. So again, Syracuse trailed by 36 points in this game. They now trail 78-65, and Chrislyn Carr has 18 points in the game, leading the way for the Orange.
There are all kinds of products in this world, things that make life easier.
Welcome back. You kind of see the emotion there for Najee Murray, rolling her ankle earlier in this half, had to leave, came back out on crutches to support her team, but make no mistake, it's an emotional time on senior day. Coming up this week, ACC women's basketball tournament in Greensboro, entering today. We got 1 through 4 there. NC State, 16-1. Louisville is dominating Notre Dame right now. How about the job Virginia Tech has done this year? Kenny Brooks down there in Blacksburg.
Yeah, and we keep saying this, still nobody's really talking about them, although you said earlier they might be able to work their way up into the top 16, but they quietly had a great year.
Virginia Tech taking on NC State later this afternoon. That'll be on the ACC network, 6 Eastern time. Syracuse needs some points here. Down by 15.
Again, you either Carr or Hyman. Those where the points have been coming from here in this second half.
Carr on the drive, got bumped.
She's been the aggressor these last 5 minutes for Syracuse.
At the line for 2 shots will be Crystal Carr.
Syracuse has outscored Boston College 41-22 here in the second half. Just kind of dug themselves too deep of a hole in the first half. It was 58-24 after 2 quarters.
2 free throws. Crystal Carr, Boston College 80, Syracuse 67.
Dickens throws the ball up and out of bounds.
And that's an unforced error.
22 turnovers for Boston College here today.
Kudos to Coach McNamee, because I would have had my coat, jacket, everything off.
Hyman, nice drive to the finish. Just blew right past everybody. Swartz slows it up. And takes some time off the clock because Boston College has really struggled to take care of the basketball today.
Yeah, we talked about perception for the NCAA tournament. Something like this is why they need to win a game in the tournament.
No help defense there, Helen.
Hyman's going to be so good when she gets surrounded with some more talent.
Again, Hyman sat out all of last season with a knee injury. Played in her first game since that February 27th, 2020 day in December of 2021 this season. Bodies hit the floor there, no whistles. Carr for 3, that's well short, out of bounds.
It was a great defensive stance there, a lot of help by BC. You got to take care of the basketball.
We've got an 11-point game here. That's going against Taylor Soule. I think Soule was trying to set a screen there.
I'm not really sure. Unless they said she was moving. I didn't really see anything there.
Hyman, in and out, Gacktang with a rebound. Hasn't been for lack of opportunities. Nice pass into Soule. She finishes on the other end. Boston College turned the ball 6 overs in the last 4 minutes.
And it's not anything really that Syracuse has done per se in terms of aggressive pressure. They've been unforced errors.
Hyman with a hands up question in that call. Got the arm out. Some more full court pressure. Boston College has struggled with this press.
This is something they worked on in practice yesterday too. Just breaking the press and being aggressive and going to score.
Dickens now with 12 points. Minute 15 left to go in the game. Carr. Too many steps. To their credit, Syracuse does lead the ACC in steals per game. Again, a very important day in ACC women's basketball. We are just getting it started here. A lot of playoff implications to come in the next couple of hours. Some huge games on our network as we head into the ACC tournament this week in Greensboro. Boston College, again, one of those teams. This is a good start for them. Trying to get to the NCAA tournament for the first time in 16 years.
Well, they have controlled what they can control, winning the last 3 games, which was necessary to stay in contention.
Emotional hugs for Alicia Stiles. All of these seniors here. A standing ovation as they check out. And deserving applause for all of these players. Many of them came in at the start of this year, not really knowing one another a whole lot. 7 transfers, 6 of them coming from Power 5 schools. We try to make a team out of that in mesh. Teisha Murray, again injured in this game, rolled the ankle. Came back out to support her team. All right, Thursday, 10 p.m. Eastern, the Nothing But Net crew will wrap up the women's tournament's second round matchups. Highlights, full breakdowns of each game. It's analysis and insight you can only get one place. That is right here on the ACC network and the ESPN app. I'll tell you what, Helen, I'm really excited to see what happens in this year's ACC tournament. We've already seen upsets galore this year. I mean, heck, this Boston College team took NC State to overtime.
Yeah, it's always an exciting tournament, and you know, you've got several teams, you know, playing for their postseason lives, if you will.
Kick to the corner, Lacey knocks it down. Final seconds of this game. That was the first 3-point field goal made since the second quarter. Nia Wilson on the other end there.
30 seconds out for Syracuse.
We touched upon it. A lot of big games coming up on the ACC network the rest of this Sunday. Rematch between Virginia Tech and NC State. It was a low-scoring game, albeit a close one. Virginia Tech got the better of NC State last year once. See Teisha Murray getting a round of applause there. That's awesome to see.
Yeah, that's 2 women on the inside. That's going to be a battle with Kitley and Cunane.
Liz Kitley and Elisa Cunane actually know each other very well, played against each other in high school. I'm sure that story will be told tonight. But again, Virginia Tech does have a chance, according to our friend Charlie Cream, with some help, to play their way into a top 16.
At this point in the year, you control what you can control. And try not to rely on this team needs to lose or that team needs to win for you to get in.
$18 seconds left to go in the game. Inbound to Van Timmeren, who finishes. Final seconds to play here. Wilson fading away. That's off the mark. Hyman, one hand, back up and in. So it wasn't for a lack of fight, Helen. Syracuse putting up 75 points in the game. They only had 24 in the first half.
Just a great job of competing, and unfortunately for them, just didn't have the manpower to beat BC today.
And that final score 91-75. In the post-game press conference, Taylor Soule for Boston College said